don't mean to alarm you, but have you or someone you love just recently finished a draft of a novel? Do you know what you're doing next? This is not something to take lightly. The very next thing you do is absolutely critical. The consequences of doing the wrong thing are so horrific, it would violate YouTube's content policy for me to even describe them to you. The thing you should do once you finish a draft is nothing. That's right, not just anything, but something very specific. Nothing. I don't mean nothing in general, keep breathing and like food and stuff, but I mean nothing related to your draft. Nothing is the best thing you can do for your draft. It might be hard at first, your draft might struggle, but it will learn street smarts in a way it never would if you were coddling it. I think people have two different reactions when they finish a draft. The first group immediately wants to go back and start revising and rewriting before the pencil ink is even dry. And then there's the second group who wants absolutely nothing to do with the draft until the draft feels abandoned and years later you've forgotten about the draft. Until one day you're working in some greasy garage and this random manuscript walks up to you and you're like, "What's wrong with your car, kid?" And the stack of papers just looks at you with a silvery tear in its eye and says, "Hi, Dad." And then you react dramatically. Perhaps drop a wrench. Then you show the draft, a crumpled old copy of it you have stored in a dusty corner of your Google Docs. You still have the same eyes. And what's the deal with all these piercings? It's usually the second group you should fall into, the deadbeat, absentee author group, I guess. As tempted as you may be to immediately go back and revise, some time away from your project is beneficial, and there are a few reasons for this. The first, and I've kind of alluded to this a little bit, is it will give you a break from the project. Getting to the end of a novel is tough, and you're likely a little burned out and tired. Having some time to work on something fresh can be a nice break. And I do recommend you work on something. Don't take a complete break from writing. Although breaks can be important, as I talked about in a... Oh no, wait, I haven't shot that video yet. My favorite time to work on experimental or slightly different projects is just after I've finished a draft of one of my main projects. It's a lower stress writing environment, and it gives you a chance to improve your skills while working out some of the fatigue you've accrued while you're working on your main project. The advantage of this is twofold. First, you get to move on to something fresh, which can increase your motivation, and second, you'll continue to develop your skills, and when you go back to your initial project, you'll be a better writer. Your time away may also give you a new perspective on the project and allow you to generate ideas you wouldn't otherwise have generated. I am totally unqualified to discuss the next part of the script, which I was also not qualified to write, but here goes. When you move your focus from a problem onto something else, there's still a part of your unconscious mind that is working on that problem, even if you aren't consciously aware of it. That's why it's called the unconscious mind. This is why sudden realizations often happen in the shower, or why sleeping on something can be a great way to generate solutions. Like if you need to flatten out a big roll of paper. By taking your conscious mind and focus off of your draft and putting it on something else for a time, when you come back, you'll likely have a bunch of great new ideas springing forth from the dark reaches of your mind. It's like compound interest. You set your money and it grows without you doing anything. At least I think that's how it works. Money has kind of become irrelevant for me since I made all that semiconductor wealth. I just walked into a dealership and got a Ferrari the other day. They didn't even ask for my credit card. Of course, the dealership was closed at the time. So how long should this break be? I don't think there's a right answer. More of a calculation. It should be long enough to give you a break and perspective, but not so long that you never get back to the project and get distracted by other things. After I finished my last novel, I decided to take a 6-month break from it. That's probably on the longer side, but I'm also like 5 drafts into this thing and it's still not where I want it to be. I'm only about 3 months into that break and I've already been itching to get back to that novel, so I might not actually do the full 6 months. But that's a good way to figure it out. Take a long enough break that your interest in the project comes back and you get some new ideas and you'll probably be good to go. Just like I hope this video was good for you to watch. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found the advice in it useful. If you want to see more stuff like this, you can check out all my other writing advice videos and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.